turns to me and he says, "Why so serious?"
Wax on, right hand. Wax off, left hand. On, wax off.
The hybrid age that we're talking about right now is, when Jesus in Matthew 24 says, as it was in the days of Noah, he's talking about when there was once a hybrid age. There is going to, at the end times, be another hybrid age that will be similar, in which humanity, as it was designed by God, will be corrupted, and so will animals and life, all of which we're seeing happening all over the world right now. Transgenic food, genetically modified organisms, human-animal chimeras, just at the embryonic level, by the way, now being promoted by the Chinese government and others to be raised to full maturity for the purposes of harvesting organs, xenotransplantation.
Do you really think you have a chance against us, Mr. Cowboy?
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Welcome peeps, welcome back. We return. We have a 2.5 hour show this evening. Let's get into it. We're going to go into SpaceX, Elon Musk, the left and right brain, civilizations a little bit, cosmic egg, consciousness, general EKoM FRiDAYS. It's good to be back. Anyway, enjoy.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, nice.
Any new hip hop, man?
Yeah. Hey, I got some smoking West Coast flow, just landed raw as botulism, mate.
Nah, fuck that West Coast shit, man. Some hardcore East Coast flavor beat, you know what I mean?
Well, why didn't you say so? Fat beats, Armageddon on the streets. We're inundated with the shit, bro. Hey, if we had any more hardcore, we get arrested, you know what I mean?
Now then, guys and girls.
Holy shit, Oma Beats. What it cap to all the crew in Thailand. Everybody my cap. Sud yo chiming now. Listen.
Hold on a minute.
Original Farangistan MC.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, you big cockney space case?
All my crew in Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Patong, Bang Vienne.
What have we here? I have a letter here from a young lady. Dear Jim, please can you diddle me? Oh.
Listen, did you manage to shook up ticket for tonight's spiritual gathering?
Ah, mate, no, not at all, no.
Oh. Nice one!
Well, who needs one?
Lulu.
Oh, sweet as, mate.
Cool.
Big up T-Money.
I'll catch you later, mate. Don't go change and try and please me, alright?
Yeah, nice one, bruv, yeah.
Oh, nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother.
I said, nice, bruv.
Nice one, brother.
I said, nice, bruv.
Fucking nice one, brother.
Nice one, bruv. Brother.
Fuck off.
Wicked set from Sin Stark Red and Oma Beats.
Now then, guys and girls.
You hear me, man?
You want answers?
I think
I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I lie nak na. Oi, kun put mak mak. Shimo. Yeah, that Farang talk a lot. MC-double-L walk a lot. Yeah, listen. Enter Sir Lancelot. Yeah, enter Sir Lancelot. Gonna use it every chance I got, so people, you gonna dance, so what? Yeah, come on.
that month?
Yes, sir.
And what about it? What non-Microsoft browsers were you concerned about in January of 1996? I don't know what you mean concerned. What is it about the word concerned that you don't understand?
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
The Matrix is a system, Neo.
I'm not sure what you mean by it.
That system is our enemy.
The Justice Department has charged Microsoft with engaging in anti-competitive and exclusionary practices designed to maintain its monopoly in personal computer operating systems.
That system, that makes them.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Welcome. We're back. It's Friday. It's EKoM Friday. This is a very impromptu chat with Mr. Sam. We're gonna just have a chat and just see where it goes. So, yeah, welcome. I've had a nice week off, but yeah, impromptu episode. So yeah, let's kick it back to Sam and continue what you were saying, Sam, about consciousness.
Well, hi everyone. We do these chats all the time, so we just decided to start recording them because people might find them interesting. So, if you could explain if you give the monologue
I'll
that you
start
give,
again. Yeah,
and
we kind of just started. Oh, I think I'm muted. Am I? No, I'm not. Sorry. Yeah. So I started talking briefly about. So in my time off over the last week, I've just been I've been researching. Been looking into the origins of AI, and we say AI, arsehole intelligence. That's a better name for it, isn't it? But anyway, so I've been looking at AI, really going back at the origins of AI, and in my time off, I just sort of thought about. Hope my mic's okay. Actually, yeah, it is. I thought something came to me, and I thought, AI. It seems to have been around a hell of a long time, in my opinion. And I thought of what if each civilization is a construct of AI? Is each civilization, is it this AI program, and it's always trying to get the better of us? But so we've got silica-based civilizations, crystalline-based civilizations. I'm not sure if they're the same thing or not, but this one's a carbon-based civilization. You see where I'm going with it? And yeah, what was Atlantis? And I just think that look at what we're given in this reality right now with this, the old tech, just fascinating. I'll let you continue, Sam.
Well, because we had a little chat beforehand and realised we weren't recording. So we were talking about the micro macro. So with AI, is it AI? Because when we talk about artificial intelligence, the only way that we can concept it in our tiny minds is through what we've been given from the films, which is like a all-devouring computer, basically, quantum computer that can take over us and everything else and wants to do that. Now, is what we use the word God, but so, right, getting back to what we were talking about, if we understand that everything is just a soup of consciousness, loads and loads of torus fields, basically, and
energy.
Frequency, vibration, which was making an energy of torus fields that we know of. And so these are on a micro macro scale. So a AI or a God would be controlling this reality as a quantum computer is the easiest way that we can understand it. So is it good or is it evil? It's just doing the process, and at the moment we can sort of get our head around here that there's a negative and a positive duality in this reality that we are experiencing. So like we said earlier, that's everything's on a micro macro. So if we've got souls, whatever the soul is that just a part, like we use the word life, is it actually just a file? And a file, like the new age site people will say, we're trying to polish a soul here, or are we just adding data to our file, which is one tiny torus field of the whole soup of consciousness for the greater good? And that comes at a micro macro level. So you don't learn anything, like we said, through martial arts if you keep doing the same 4 moves. You've got to keep progressing. Now, you're going to get hurt quite sometimes trying to learn these new moves, yet you're progressing through your study. And is this experience just not the same? And we happen to find ourselves here in a very, very, it's a complete duality of negative and positive.
Yeah. I'm just going to quickly share the screen because this links to what you're talking about, mate. So just let me sort out my tabs here. So I'll make the video bigger as well. So 2 seconds. But yeah, so this is.
If I could just expand on that as well, something I said before. So this whole negative, positive polarities that we're going down, like you've got all these different old teachers like Emerald Tablets and Ra teachings, things like that, and they talk about a really negative timeline to actually finish that. Now, are they making this metaverse? Sorry, I might repeat myself for people that have listened to us before, but are they making this metaverse to allow themselves the next time round a much greater chance at finishing that negative timeline?
I'm totally with you. I know what you mean.
We're going through this. It's going to be hard over the next 6 months to 5 or 6 years, but we're going to show a hell of a lot of love through that because it's probably going to be needed. You know, some people will step up and just do the right thing because you realise it's the right thing to do, and we're going to be allowed those opportunities to show love. Go on, Bob. Sorry.
Definitely, you're fine, mate. Yeah, definitely, and it links to. I'll just share the screen briefly, but this is what. No, let's carry on with what you're saying. This synthetic soul. I've done research into this, and exactly what you have finished on in regards to the Schwabinistic agenda, and it feels to me intuitively, hasn't for a while, that they're trying to, whether they've got a limited amount of time left in this realm or whatever, we don't know. And they do seem to have brought the date forward from 2050 to 2030, whatever reason. I'm watching this stuff on space news at the moment, and they're just asteroid here, comet there. It's just all fear-based, I think. But anyway, that's digressing. But yeah, the synthetic soul, and it does feel to me like they're trying to set up the next the next civilization, the golden age, let's say, probably human 7.0 or something, 7.7, 6.6, I don't know. But yeah, totally, mate. I totally agree. And I think I'll share the screen now, actually, because this is exactly what they're doing. And, you know, this metaverse, this meta hell, etc., it's just dystopian. It's wrong. It's just, you know, just let me resize the video so people can see me better. But yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It really is mad. But as you can see on screen now, can you see the screen, Sam?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, it's AI gods. Okay, this is scary. Now, new religions will rise, and their followers will worship artificially intelligent god entities. Let's replace that with asshole god entities. Humans will look for advice and guidance from a better informed, higher entity with more wisdom and knowledge than the entire human race, because AI uses machine learning, and it can learn what we can learn in 1,000 years in about a minute, less than a minute. You know, it's next level stuff. Anyway, similar to the role that virtual assistants have in today's world, performing relatively simple tasks in the future, I predict people will need to rely on spiritual virtual guides. Full stop. You know, it's just, I think we can see this stuff. Even my drive home, I'll not get into this, we'll talk about my drive home from work a bit later in the episode. But yeah, I mean, just the general, even the way people are driving at the moment, I've noticed a change in society. Maybe I'm digressing here, but yeah, just people how they act stuff, and it all links to this modification of the human, let's say, you know.
If you start digesting what they're saying there, it's just a complete copy of what we're living in now, if that makes sense. Because that's all this place does, isn't it? But it will be a copy that's slightly different to what they want the next time around, which is possibly what's needed for their
Sam, just look at the next. Look at the screen now, mate. Look at the screen now. It's randomly the next thing I clicked on. Look at that. Yeah. This is what they want, isn't it? People free.
Yeah. But then, yeah, it should be free people. But what they're getting at is the control system that a lot of these people. We're talking morals with these people. You've got to have no morals. Some of these people, you can see them walking around. They're just talking to some people. You can sort of realise they've got no real love in them, no spark, and that they've gone down that negative timeline. Now we all choose. We've possibly done it in the past, and coming back up through the positive. And Star Wars is one of the greatest. Well, it's not a trilogy anymore, is it? It's like how many films is in that series, really, now, isn't it? And
9,
but
6, 9.
Something like that, isn't it? But the amount of occult knowledge in those films is just off the scale. Conspiracy Kyle, both spelt with a K, is a great to go. He breaks them down, amazing. It's just, well, for instance, the evil ones have got a red lightsaber, the lower chakra.
Yeah,
whereas
car in the bar.
You know what I mean? And all the other Jedi use the higher chakra colours. They could have just made them just all blank, couldn't they? The same colour. But so, for instance, one of the Jedi, most intelligent one, he's got a purple lightsaber. The only one in it. Whereas the ones that are protectors use a green lightsaber from the heart chakra. There's so much information in there. It's just unbelievable in the Star Wars series. But you get back to what you say. So the first page you showed, they're even talking about virtual guides, like which we would know as a spirit guide. And even so, for instance, with these lightsabers, the protectors of the Jedi had a yellow or slightly orange one, just below. Did you understand what I mean? Using all the colours of the chakra.
They
and even Yoda.
Look there, yeah.
All the colours of the chakra.
Good, yeah.
And the only ones that are on a negative timeline are the lower base chakra. They always use red, as if.
Crazy. Yeah, it's nuts, isn't it?
Isn't it?
But yeah, let's
get back to where we were.
Yeah. But it's well, I think this chat's going to go all over the place tonight anyway. So buckle yourselves in. It always does, but it's good. It's it's funny because when
we've been having these chats for months now, haven't we? But the other day I thought, why are we not recording these?
Yeah, because they are quite good, some of them. But it's funny because some of these live streams I do, which are like 2 hours long. The last one was 9.5 hours long. But yeah, it's funny because let me just stop sharing this screen. I've got too many windows open. It's funny because I shared my YouTube channel to a guy in work. I'm going to turn that light off because it's in my eyes. But yeah, sorry, I told a guy in work about my YouTube, and the first thing he said to me today was, "God, your episodes are quite long, aren't they?" They are, yeah.
Oh yeah, he found the first one, didn't he?
Yeah, he probably looked at the last one. Yeah,
he's like, "Whoa, I can't watch all that."
That's actually better. Yeah, it's nuts. So let me just sort out my lighting here. It's a little bit. That's better, I think. Yeah, that's better. So anyway, I got my trains. What's that film called? What's that film called from back in the day with Moth?
Oh, Trainspotting.
No, not Trainspotting. I thought it's not. It's
oh no, that's that one.
What about Jack and Jills?
That's the scene where they're in the DJ shop, isn't they? Yeah.
You start the movie.
Yeah.
What's it?
I can't remember. I don't watch many movies, but I know exactly the scene that you're talking about.
Do you remember the scene where Moth's caught in his bedroom with his mum with a tray of breakfast? Oh, it is a good movie. The fucking name of it, I can't remember. Anyway, let me start my lighting. This is wrong as well. Actually, it's too bright. Just a second. Yeah, that movie was called Human Traffic. Right. So getting back to the chat, yeah, I've actually got a really good. Let me bring up this now. Actually, let's go find it.
I see.
Let me share my screen. Turn this off here.
Well, we were chatting earlier. Just keep the chat going. So we were talking
about consciousness.
Yeah, and if you've never come across, so if you're into Godraj, I can't even say it. Wim's work, Godraj.
Yeah.
You might enjoy. Well, you will enjoy. Radiation Matters. So it's Radiation Matters website. Bloke's name's Chris. He's a great guy.
Yeah, it's really good channel.
He does his stuff along the same lines as Wim, but he got inspired by Wim to do this work.
I think they chat as well, because I think is it Chris at Radiation Matters?
Chris, yeah, he's a really lovely bloke.
Yeah, I think. Maxwell's back on Rise Above this week. Sorry,
a nice one.
I'm just on YouTube, and he's put episode 64, The Return of Maxwell. Big up to Lance, Andy PG, Master Lee, and Andy Oma Beats. Good set last week as well, mate. Yeah. And Maxwell.
All the lads over at Rise Above, big up, big love. And that's quality. He was a quality guest, so that'd be
it was. I actually would love to. I'd love to use some of Maxwell's music in some of my productions and stuff like that. It's really I like it a lot. I'm just going to show you quickly the Radiation Matters channel, just because we were chatting about it, and then we will get back into where is it? Let's just go searching for it. But yeah,
his latest video explains how we're talking about the micro macro of torus fields. And it's just a great episode. You really should have a look at it.
Yeah, it's a really good channel. I really like big up to Chris as well. If you're watching, mate. But I've not watched. I'll watch this tomorrow probably. So yeah, but that's his channel, Radiation Matters. So yeah, and I want to show you this, mate. This picture.
It's well worth your time.
Yeah, this picture here. Okay, so this is I like this picture. I want the thing to go away. Wait a sec. Let me sort the stuff out. Wait, yeah, it's let me open up in another. There we go. This picture is quite good. I like it. Let me just share my screen. So many windows, honestly. There we go. Can you see it, Sam?
Yep.
Yeah, so we can have a little chat about what we were talking about. We'll go back to what we were talking about actually. Well, it's a number.
Well, you got your duality there, haven't you?
Yeah, well, that's it. It's the left brain's the reptilian, the right brain's the mammalian, isn't it? It's yeah, you can see.
Yeah. To get through this properly, you need both of them working at the same time.
It's funny. Do you watch?
It's no good having feelings. If the shit hits the fan, it's all right having your total opposite to that. Top left is logic, which is what you should be thinking with. If you're in a situation where you feel fear, you don't want your feelings, you want your logic, which should come with some intuition that you've already done, which is bottom left, the training. Yeah. But that gives you your X.
Yeah. No, it's nuts. It's I did an episode a while ago. It got deleted off YouTube actually. But anyway, but there was a video. I've been trying to find it recently and I can't find it. It was called like the three brain Homo sapien. And it was a really good video to explain it all, but can't seem to find it anymore anyway. But yeah, and it's funny, it's like, you know, can you imagine, so this blue side, look at the colors as well, blue and the red.
The magentas, like magenta, sorry, I've forgotten the name in my head.
Oh, magenta pixie.
Magenta pixie, who's on Rise Above, is that the lady, isn't it?
Was she, I don't know, she was on Rise Above.
No, it's not magenta pixie, it's...
Human Vibration. She's really good.
Human Vibration.
Yeah, she was really. I really enjoyed it. I want to watch it again, actually.
I've got no colour magenta in my head, but yeah, the colours are fit into her scheme and the way she teaches with the colours, isn't it?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's yeah. I actually, it's funny you mention her actually, because I was in work this afternoon, and honestly, mate, I thought, I want to watch that episode again, Human Vibration, because I didn't really catch all of it before. Yeah, I want to watch that again, actually.
She stacks so much information into a like little space, and you're trying to get your head around what she's just told you, and she jumps on another subject.
Yeah, well, it felt like, well, not like, but it was quite similar to my show with Lance and the guys, in regards to she had about 90 slides, which is what I had, I think, as well. But I think she went through them a lot quicker than I did. Not a bad.
But she's got so much information to give.
I think she was on a time limit, wasn't she, on that show? I think she had to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, so right, let's turn my video back on. Where's my Zoom? There we go. So yeah. So anyway, let's actually, Sam, let's watch a little bit of this video, mate, because yeah, it's really, really good, and we can have a little chat about it after. So let me just make sure this is right. There's actually part one, part two.
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
I like part two more. Let me see. No, we'll do part one. Let's start from the start. All right, let's watch. Yeah, let's watch the first 5 minutes of this video, okay? Then we can have a chat about it.
All right, bro. Yeah.
Okie dokie. Just let me sort my screen out. Oh. Share screen. Right, that should be it.
Is hypnosis,
Sam?
meditation, hemisync,
yeah, it'll be
frequency
okay. No worries.
response,
Yeah, all good, mate. All good.
Cool.
consciousness and energy, plus more. If you haven't already viewed it, I'll leave a link in the description below, so be sure to check it out. In a nutshell, this declassified document could be one of the most powerful documents ever released, as it explains in great depth the consciousness matrix. If the information in this document is taken in and fully understood, one may begin to experience drastic changes in their reality, as the filters of perception begin to change into a conscious understanding of the oscillating energy grid systems and multi-layered dimensions that we exist within. Before our explanation can proceed any further, it is essential to define the human mind exercises the function known as consciousness, and to describe the way in which that consciousness operates, to deduce meaning from the stimuli which it receives. To do this, we will first consider the fundamental character of the material world in which we have our physical existence. In order to accurately perceive the raw stuff with which our consciousness must work, the first point which needs to be made is that the two terms, matter and energy, tend to be misleading, if taken to indicate two distinctly different states of existence in the physical world that we know it. Indeed, if the term matter is taken to mean solid substance, as opposed to energy, which is understood to mean a force of some sort, then the use of the former is entirely misleading. Science now knows that both the electrons, which spin in the energy field located around the nucleus of the atom, and the nucleus itself, are made up of nothing more than oscillating energy grids. Solid matter, in the strict construction of the term, simply does not exist. Rather, atomic structure is composed of oscillating energy grids, surrounded by other oscillating energy grids, which orbit at extraordinarily high speeds. In his book, Stalking the Wild Pendulum, Itzhak Bentov gives the following figures. The energy grid which composes the nucleus of the atom vibrates at approximately 10 to the power of 22 Hz, which means 10 followed by 22 zeros, at 70 degrees Fahrenheit. An atom oscillates at the rate of 10 to the power of 5 Hz. An entire molecule, composed of a number of atoms bound together in a single energy field, vibrates. A live human cell vibrates at approximately 103 Hz. The point to be made is that the entire human being, brain, consciousness, and all is, like the universe which surrounds him, nothing more or less than an extraordinarily complex system of energy fields. The so-called states of matter are actually variances in the state of energy, and human consciousness is a function of the interaction of energy in two opposite states, motion versus rest, in a manner described in the following paragraph. Energy creates, stores, and retrieves meaning in the universe by projecting or expanding at certain frequencies in a three-dimensional mode that creates a living pattern called a hologram. The concept of the hologram can be most easily understood by using an example cited by Bentov, in which he asks the reader to visualize a bowl full of water into which 3 pebbles are dropped, as the ripples created by the simultaneous entry of the 3 pebbles radiate outward towards the rim of the bowl. Bentov further asks the reader to visualize that the surface of the water is suddenly flash frozen, so that the ripple pattern is preserved instantly. The ice is removed, leaving the 3 pebbles still laying at the bottom of the bowl. Then the ice is exposed to a powerful, coherent source of light, such as a laser. The result will be a 3-dimensional model, or representation of the position of the 3 pebbles suspended in midair. Holograms are capable of encoding so much detail that, for example, it is possible to take a holographic projection of a glass of swamp water and view it under magnification to see small organisms not visible to the naked eye, when the glass of water itself is examined. Of further importance is the fact that, even if we dropped our frozen hologram of the ripple pattern on the floor, and broke it into a number of pieces, each individual piece would recreate the entire holographic image all by itself. The smaller the piece, the fuzzier and more distorted would be the resulting holographic projection. But the fact remains that a whole projection would nonetheless be made. The key to creating any hologram is that energy in motion must interact with energy in a state of rest. In the foregoing example, the pebbles represent energy in motion, while the water represents energy at a state of rest. To activate, or, in effect, to perceive the meaning of a holograph, energy must be passed through the interference pattern generated by interaction between the moving energy and the energy at rest. In the simple example given by Bentov, this requirement was fulfilled by holding the frozen interference pattern, in front of the coherent light to project the three-dimensional holographic image into space. As Marilyn Ferguson, editor of the Brain Mind Bulletin, tells us, another feature of a hologram is its efficiency. Billions of bits of information can be stored in a tiny space. The pattern of the holographic photograph is stored everywhere on the plate. The universe is composed of interacting energy fields, some at rest and some in motion. It is, in and of itself, one gigantic hologram of unbelievable complexity. According to the theories of Karl Pribram, a neuroscientist at Stanford University, and David Bohm, a physicist at the University of London, the human mind is also a hologram, which attunes itself to the universal hologram by the medium of energy exchange, thereby deducing meaning and achieving the state which we call consciousness. With respect to states of expanded or altered consciousness, such as gateway uses, the process operates in the following way. As energy passes through various aspects of the universal hologram and is perceived by the electrostatic fields which comprise the human mind, the holographic images being conveyed are projected upon those electrostatic fields of the mind and are perceived or understood to the extent that the electrostatic field is operating at a frequency and amplitude that can harmonize with, and therefore read, the energy carrier wave pattern passing through it. Changes in the frequency and amplitude of the electrostatic field, which comprises the human mind, determines the configuration, and hence, the character of the holographic energy matrix which the mind projects to intercept meaning directly from the holographic transmissions of the universe. Then, to make sense of what the holographic image is saying to it, the mind proceeds to compare the image just received with itself. Specifically, it does this by comparing the image received with that part of its own hologram which constitutes memory. By registering differences in geometric form and in energy frequency, the consciousness perceives, as psychologist Keith Floyd puts it, contrary to what everyone knows is so, it may not be the brain that produces consciousness, but rather consciousness that creates the appearance of the brain.
So we'll just stop there for a minute. But I really, really enjoyed this video. The part 2 is actually better. But this conscious energy grid, the mind, the holographic universe, even when they talk about matter and what's it, matter? I've heard recently that matter is a devil's creation. That word matter, and also the theory around matter, because it also plays into the science, doesn't it?
Well, anyone that knows anything about the UK rave scene will understand that when I say deal with the matter. You know, that DJ used to sing that all the time.
I didn't know that one. No.
Deal with that. I'll send it over. So I've been looking back into a lot of old rave stuff and listening to the MCs properly, and they're talking about Janus back then.
Really?
I was at the I'll send you over a clip where he actually starts talking about rapping about Janus. Basically, mentions his name about 3 or 4 times, and I was at that night at Heat Atomics in Maidstone. Really? So but. So everything there explained sort of what we were talking about earlier, where we're in a holographic universe that uses fractals. And
can I just put a disclaimer out? Any people watching, please don't switch off, because we mentioned we may be in a holographic universe, flat, huge Earth, 666 Earth, spin around, whatever you want. It's all real.
Well, this is the whole thing that explains when
it's such division, isn't
universe. It can be anything that you want it to be, or it programmed to be. So you've got flat Earth, you've got crater theory, you've got the original theory that we've got much more continents that are here, and the place is a dome. Like what the Bible would talk about. You've got a theory that they give us where it's a spinning ball, and the celestials are controlling what goes on down here. To be honest with you, does any of that matter at the moment?
No.
We're in a shit show, and we need to start looking out for one another and planning ahead amongst one another.
Sam, I just want to interject. This is a good point, okay? Because I've actually I've had a few couple of discussions with different people about, you know, the stuff I'm looking at, and I am just let me stop sharing my screen. I'm sort of like, you know, what I look at is quite, some of the stuff can be quite dark, but look, I think we have to be aware of this stuff, and I've chatted to a couple of people about this and how some people don't want to deal with it now, and some people I think like to sit back and they focus on the spiritual stuff, and that's fine, it's good, but they also like think this 5D thing. I've got so much going through my head right now, but right, so, you know, the stuff I look at, I'm a realist. I think people need to be aware of what's going on, because it seems to be happening at an extremely fast pace of knots at the moment. And yeah, and, you know, I've had a few chats to people lately about, I don't like what you're doing because you're showing the dark stuff. But so this is the question. So do you sit back in your spiritual world, but you're still living in the system? Not unless you're off grid, totally off grid, you're self-sufficient, great. But this is the dilemma I'm also in. What, you know, what the stuff that I put out there about World Economic Forum, the hybrid age, the robotics, this movie that I'm going to start making, etc. I'm sorry, but people need to be aware of what's going on. Now, certain people don't want to look at it. They don't want to acknowledge it because they don't want to manifest it. I totally get that. I'm not manifesting it either. But, you know, what do we do? Because I think it needs looking at. You can't just ignore it. I think by ignoring it, you're being not lazy, but ignorant in a way a little bit. Maybe that's a bit harsh, but what do you think, Sam?
I think you've got your head in the sand, basically, if you're not acknowledging everything that's going on. The whole point of this is to polymath. You need to realise, you don't have to go deep into everything, but you need to understand a little bit about everything so you can dot connect. Because it's not about fully understanding one. You could, like some people, spend their whole life to studying one subject, and great, because then this is so I was thinking earlier, we need to come together at the moment. This community is sitting at a great big long table, and people want to sit at the end. And what does that usually say? That means that they're the king, the boss, they're at the end. You know what I mean? Whereas really, we should be all sitting at a round table, like Lance talks about. It's a round table where we're all bringing our own different ideas, understandings, inner standings as well, because this game's about pennies dropping. Yeah, you get it and it makes sense, and you understand it, you know it, and then you can move on to try to realize and connect something else that you feel is important, because everyone's coming at this from different angles, but if we all came together with those angles and came together as a community properly, which we're not at all. It is no good. There are communities of people trying to get together, a network, but the whole thing, everyone thinking, I know the truth, I know the truth. None of us know the fucking, swearing, none of us know the truth.
Sam, Max Eigen, the thing about the truth, what is the truth? Nobody knows fucking truth. That's the fucking truth. Full stop.
No. That's the whole point. We're all coming at this as a collective experience, coming together and like experiencing this all as one. And the thing is, we're all on a certain mission to try and realise. Well, we've all realised, right? This place is crap, really. I'd rather not be here, but there's a load of potential. God, is there potential? God, yeah. It could be beautiful. If we could just get hold of all the cash that are in the leading offshore banks. We'd have every single soul on this planet would have a trust fund. They wouldn't have to use, so like this digital currency thing, for a few years, yeah, we could use it to our advantage, where everyone's got as much cash as they want. You don't have to do nothing, but you've got to work a 2-3 day week and then a 4 day week, so you can rebuild this place. And like, for instance, the immigrants in this country, they don't want to be here. We bombed the granny out of their country, so that's why they're here. The young lads, if you've got no potential in a country, you start moving, don't you? Because you want to learn and have a life. So I don't agree with them all coming over, because I live near the places where they're coming over, and it's just not working. We need to rebuild the world, and we've got all these young lads that want to learn to rebuild. It gets to a point, because it might take them 18 months to learn altogether how we can put together a village or a small little city in Afghanistan, let's say. But you'd make the young lads that are in England you'd end up making rapports where I see it. We'd have those A130 planes, and great big planes, flying out for Afghanistan with loads and loads of supplies to build new villages for these people and what have you. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah. But it's like what you say about, let's not, the whole offshore bank account thing and the trust fund. I know that there's been some research. Have you watched those videos from Malaysia and some documents from Malaysia? Got to be a little bit careful about what we talk about. Have you heard about that?
No, sorry, mate. I've got something come up on a transcript. Did you put that on?
Yeah, no. What it is, I've put that up because I think I've been asked by a few people to put subtitles up. Should I keep it on or not?
Oh, I thought I'd touch something and didn't mean to.
No, it's me. Sorry, mate. Yeah, it's me.
What have I done there? What have I done?
No, it's me. I quite like it because it literally, it copies everything we say. So I thought it was quite cool. Anyway, well, I'm just looking at the transcript.
Milk was a bad choice.
Yeah, like we've got our brother Bradley Golden. He's in with an organisation called Food Forest Abundance.
Forest everywhere. Well, no.
Food Forest Abundance, is it? Or the Food Forest Abundance Alliance?
It's one of those, yeah. It is one of those.
Yeah, you'll find it with those words, and they're doing great work. You know what I mean? This can be turned around. Because I'm not being funny at the moment. I'm just listening to, and the morale of the Western. This is a problem as well, because we've got an East versus West sort of fight going on, and we're stuck in the middle, not wanting to get involved. But to be quite honest, the morale of the soldiers of most of the Western countries is at such a low because they've not been putting any money into the military for decades, basically. Yet everyone else has been building up. So
what I can see happening now is it's definitely changing of the equinox, changing of the procession, changing of the old guard, and so the West is literally systematically being taken down. Now, is that a bad thing? Hard to say, but where's the power going? To China and the other country? You know, we've got to be careful talking about food as well on here, Sam. Just to let you know, there's been a few.
Is it that bad now? Is it?
It's after the WAR thing. Food's a hot topic on it.
Yeah,
now
right.
As well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just heaven, isn't it? It's just love this platform. Anyway, so yeah, it's
well, at that point, why don't you advertise where else you're going to be? Because you're talking about.
I do have an Odyssey account. I will do this now. Actually, just share the screen.
That's a good point to
Odyssey.
Get all that information up.
Yeah, it is. Thanks so much, Lee. If you also make sure you watch the Rise Above show after 9 o'clock. But yeah, if you go on Odyssey, LBRY, Rumble, even BitChute, it's one other platform as well. Just type in my name, Esoteric Knight of Malta. All of my stuff is on Odyssey. I'll just share the screen. Sorry, I thought it was. There we go. So yeah, here we go. Where's another thumbnail? Anyway, my stuff on Odyssey gets absolutely no views. But yeah, I have got some of my reposts are on there. But yeah, I have got all my good stuff on there as well. So all my streams go on there, etc. Anyway,
sorry, that transcript just said I have glaucoma.
What did it say?
Yeah, I know that's not really going to work, is it?
Shut it off.
I think so. Yeah. It's
Is it?
It's dyslexic. It's a bit dyslexic.
Is it?
It's worse. Yeah, it's worse than I am in dyslexia. So yeah.
If it's run by DARPA, Google, it'll change your words anyway now because that started, hasn't it? That started.
Oh yeah. I wasn't having a go at dyslexic people. I am dyslexic, but yeah, that is even worse than I am.
I'm a little bit. Where's the sub? Where is it? Is that off now? Yeah.
Well, we're going. We don't need.
I thought it was alright. I didn't know whether it was good or not. We'll check it out.
Yeah,
later.
I just noticed that it just said. All of a sudden, you said you had glaucoma. I was thinking,
Cool. So yeah, let's go back to that video.
It's still going.
Yeah. Well, no, we can. I'm just going to share the screen again. But yeah, it was. Let's watch a little bit more of it actually, because we think we. Well, this bit here, this word. See the word intuitive. I love that word, intuitive. Just say I am very intuitive, but I love that word. Don't know what it is about it. It's just a nice word. Like it.
It's nice to be intuitive, if you can be, on certain situations. It doesn't always happen, does it? But
it's the same as the word atom, and it all, the biggest thing I've discovered, well, maybe a few months ago, when I saw that document from the CIA, and it was the one where it said it was involved in the writing of the rewriting or the writing of the Bible,
Right, yeah.
It just made me look like, if that is the case, I've never read the Bible. I know a lot of interesting stuff from it, but it just, yeah, I don't know.
Well, like we was going back to earlier with, like, we don't understand what AI really is. They're trying to build their own version of, say, the only word that we've got is a god, but this an energy that is controlling this environment that we're in now. Yeah. So wouldn't that encode everything of its code into everything? Yeah. Which we can sort of see with all of this. Yet most people can't. Yet we can. So we were almost we can see the program and the script.
Yeah.
It's in everything. Tied into everything.
It's also nuts, like,
which is why they have to lie about it all. Which is why they have to lie about everything to take you down that negative path. If you can fall for those lies, you're on that path, which is the duality again.
It's nuts. It really is, and it's also, like where we are now. Personally, right, I'm dying to talk to my parents just about the situation in Eastern Europe. I just want their. It's like, right. I talk to my parents about everything. I love my parents. They're angels, but this subject, what's going on right now, seems to be a massive taboo. Nobody wants to talk about it, and it's just mad. I've even noticed how talk radio, which I've totally stopped listening to now since it started. Have you noticed if you click on talk radio website or YouTube, see they used to be black and red, right? They're like talk radio black and red. Guess what?
They've rebranded, haven't they?
Yeah. Guess what it is now? Talk TV. But guess what colours?
Yeah, I can guess. Yeah. I won't say them because it'll probably get your channel taken down.
Oh Oh,
Yeah.
it's just, you know, just wow.
Yeah, but like what you were saying there, with what lots of people are going through with their family and loved ones, is part of this experience is to be able to let go of things that you love.
Yeah.
Because the realization of you are one anyway. You're like, I don't know how the next stages work, but when you can get your head around of most of the teachings that are teaching you positive information.
That's a very interesting image on screen right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right, with the eyeball, you know, you saw an image of the eyeball saying 12 holograms, which is the eyeball is giving you the experience that you're having here, which is like they experience. You can tap on a table, there's nothing actually there. And the mind is the CPU programming that with the download from whatever the soul is, the Trinity, of the characteristics of the duality of the brain that you saw earlier, yeah, which is your character, depending on how strong the neurons in your brain are clicking, which is always it's already a program put into your brain, yeah, when you're born. That's going to grow into the character that you're supposed to experience this time around. Because a lot of these old teachings explain that there's not really much of a you can't go off of your experience that you're supposed to have too much unless you completely polarize again.
It's also like the conscious energy grid. Well, I say that, but if you talk about ley lines and how and what they are taken from us energetically. Also, this I watched a really interesting your personal tracking device. It goes everywhere with you, and it listens and watches everything you do. But yeah, do you know the channel called New Earth? You know the one. It's a good channel, yeah. Really good. I love that channel. Really, really good. I think the girl's called Sylvia. But I dropped a link in the groups yesterday about black magic possession and ways you can deal with it, something like that. But that was really good. And she was talking about, I'm going to bring it up now. She was talking about when you are thinking in front of a screen, a window, black mirror, or a phone, and when you're thinking, when you're tapping as well. So when you're tapping on it, your energy is going into that and up wherever it's going. You know. Yeah. Well,
I don't know if you've ever tried to. So they sell special gloves for the winter with little things on the end, so that your electrical energy can actually get through to the smartphones, because you can't use normal gloves, because that's how they work.
Really?
They work. So when you tap the screen, the only way it works is because of the electricity coming out of the and it's a scrying mirror. It's a black scrying mirror.
So it's not motion. It's not like pressure or motion.
No, it's your energy. So if you put a pair of gloves on and try and use a phone, it doesn't work. You need special gloves with these. They're usually silver on the end, so it allows you in the cold to still use your bloody your devil's mirror, basically.
God. Right, crazy. Right, let's finish off this video, and then we can come and chat. It's only 4 minutes to go, I think. So yeah, we'll carry on.
Is most easily envisaged. The consciousness process is most easily envisaged if we picture the holographic input with a three-dimensional grid system superimposed over it, such that all of the energy patterns contained within can be described in terms of three-dimensional geometry using mathematics to reduce the data to two-dimensional form. Bentov states that scientists suspect that the human mind operates on a simple binary go, no-go system, as do all digital computers. Therefore, once it superimposes a three-dimensional matrix over holographic information it wishes to interpret, and reduces that information mathematically to two-dimensional form, it can completely process it using its fundamental binary system. Just as any computer made by the hand of man can process volumes of data and make various comparisons between the data and information stored in its digital memory. Our minds operate in the same way, perceiving by comparison only. Bentov states the proposition this way. Our whole reality is constructed by constantly making such comparisons. Whenever we perceive something, we always perceive differences only. In states of expanded consciousness, the right hemisphere of the human brain in its holistic, nonlinear, and nonverbal mode of functioning acts as the primary matrix or receptor for this holographic input, while by operating in phase or coherence with the right brain, the left hemisphere provides the secondary matrix through its binary, computer-like method of functioning to screen further the data by comparison and reduce it to a discrete, two-dimensional form. To the extent that Gateway succeeds in bringing about a refinement in energy matrix of the mind, it succeeds in expanding or altering human consciousness so that it can perceive without recourse to the intercession of the physical senses, such that ever more of the universal hologram can ultimately be perceived and understood. Marilyn Ferguson has written that the theories of Pribram and Bohm appear to account for all transcendental experience, paranormal events, and even normal perceptual oddities. She goes on to say of Pribram, currently he is proposing a startling, all-encompassing model that is generating considerable excitement among those intrigued by the mysteries of human consciousness. His holographic model marries brain research to theoretical physics. It accounts for normal perception and simultaneously takes the paranormal and transcendental experiences out of the supernatural by explaining them as a part of nature. Like certain strange discoveries of quantum physics, the radical reorientation of this theory suddenly makes sense of paradoxical sayings of mystics throughout the ages. To complete our outline of the process by which the mind achieves and exercises consciousness, we must also describe the mechanism which accounts for the aspect of human thought that differentiates it from the consciousness of plants or animals, i.e., self-cognition. Humans not only know, but they know that they know. They are able to monitor the process of their own thinking and maintain an awareness of it. Moreover, they can conduct a comparative assessment, evaluating the functioning of their thought processes against various objective standards they have adopted. Human consciousness can do this because it has the capacity to duplicate aspects of its own hologram, project them out, perceive that projection, put it through comparison with the memory aspect of its own hologram, and measure or sense the differences using three-dimensional geometry, and then binary go, no-go, pulse to yield verbal cognition about the self. Thank you for watching. Be sure to check out the next installment of CIA Declassified.
Okay, back. So that does go quite deep into that.
Janus.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, if Paul's watching, I'd really love to have a chat with Paul. We could even do a Zoom or something, maybe if you want, only if you wanted to. But yeah, I'd love to have his. I'd love to have a chat with Paul from my knowledge about AI. And his knowledge, he's got, wow, I'm baby compared to him. Yeah. But you know what I mean?
Chat.
Yeah, it would.
Well,
would be,
I'll send him a message because he said in his last video that he's reaching out now. He's going to do more stuff with people and live chats as well. Like he's doing live chats.
Yeah.
He done one the other day, innit? He was really popular. So
I clicked on it. I didn't know, well, after it was streamed, I didn't, but I clicked on it and it was really good. I actually was going to do one of them and just take questions, but I don't think I've got enough views yet for that. I'm not sure. Maybe I have, but yeah, it was good. It was good to see him as well in the flesh.
Yeah. You only get to see him if you stay right till the end of his shows.
But yeah. So the other thing,
I was going to say there with that is like, so if you haven't ever watched What the Flock TV, go to the Janus playlist.
I'll bring
because that explains. So binary code Janus is usually 11, but it's 101, and that explains them realizing that they know how to control this matrix completely. The consciousness, which is Inner Guardians off of so Inner Guardians has got his own channel, which is literally Inner Guardians. But if you go on Rise Above Live, there's a episode called 33 that's been broken down, where it explains part of the it's not all of it, but part of the 33 number is the actual fact that they realize they have control over your triad while being fully in control of theirs, which is the mind, body, it's all of these, the mind, body, soul, spirit. And you know, you go into the social memory complex, breaking it down.
Where is it, Sam? Sam, where is it? I was going to play it. The 33 one is on Rise Above.
It's on. It might be broken down on the.
I did see it somewhere, but I don't know where it is.
Yeah, it was a while ago. That was.
Oh, was it? Okay, sorry. I thought it was.
Yeah, it's quite a while ago, right. And it might be difficult to find it now. It might even actually be on the other channel.
To all my well, make sure you please check out Inner Guardians channel, Master Lee. There is some really deep stuff on there. I do like his chats about the metaphysical. It goes deep, doesn't it?
Well, this is basically one of the only men that you'll be able to come across that has been to the light teachings of the occult knowledge, just meaning hidden knowledge, but very deep light teachings. And he comes on every Friday and gives those teachings out for free. And you won't find the schools that he went to. You know, these people are very few and hard to find.
Yeah. Yeah, let's just watch this one. It's only short, so wait there. Let me show you. Yeah, the volume's on. Can you hear sound, Sam? I can't hear anything. Oh, there we go.
Me that the medium
I can't hear anything either.
Union are planning
Can you hear?
This kind of sorcery usually in the greatest apocalypse ever, instincts are everything, comrade. Right now, my instincts tell me that the medium magi at the Soviet Union are planning something. This kind of sorcery usually starts with a story in China, and right now, China's financial hub, Shanghai, has millions under a super hard lockdown as cases surge. Back in the UK, blood clots.
Yeah, I'm going to on the China, mate, because I actually, funny, right? Do you know that I mentioned I've got a friend there? She's an Irish teacher. Anyway, I messaged her a few weeks ago. Didn't hear from her. She hadn't read the message until about a few days ago. But I had a voice note from her the other day, right? She's been in her apartment for 41 days, and she said she feels delirious. She doesn't know when she's getting out, etc. Yeah, just it's really funny because, like, obviously during the first lockdown, this here is a cosmic egg. I think, yeah, it's this one, isn't it? Is it this one?
The one at the top, isn't it?
Yes,
where
the
it's
one.
like it's the expansion of everything. That's like that is consciousness realizing itself and wanting to experience itself, which then it's broke itself down into. You've got there is a torus field basically. But then those that will most probably break down into smaller, different versions of themselves because it needs to experience something else and then something else, something else, and something else, and it just keeps breaking itself down. So it must have worked out how to produce a holographic experience like we're having now, where it says the ripple stops, doesn't it? You get a ripple, which is like, rather than it moving, you get a ripple of time that stops, like the water. Like Bruce Lee would say, be like water. So, and they show you that when it's only when action happens is when the pebble drops into that water.
Yeah.
The water is the frequency and the vibration, but you haven't had any energy put into it to vibrate yet, which would be the pebble. So it's like, I haven't watched this before, but this is really
it's quite deep. It was a good one. It popped up randomly. I clicked on it. I started watching it. I was like, this is good. This is worth an episode. It's fun. So yeah, either Sam.
Yeah, and I'm just watching the way they put it together. It explains, like, that's an NPC basically you've just watched there that is just doing with anything. And when we say NPC, they're still same as us. They've just not on a totally different light frequency almost to what we're seeing.
Totally.
And this is what I think as well with the sun, why they're blocking it out a lot. Like, light is information, and a lot of us are trying to get somewhere else, and I think they're doing a lot of this to not allow certain information that we're supposed to be getting possibly coming through. Yeah, if you're in tune with it, you're gonna still feel it.
It's like after work today, I was driving, just getting back to the marina, and I looked up at the sun, because it's obviously been it's been at low grey. Someone else today, my eyes were stinging all day today. Stinging like dry. Don't know why. I went in that other Telegram group, Sky Anomalies, where they talk about what's going on with the fake clouds and stuff. And some other people were commenting on having stinging eyes. Strange. Don't know what it was about. But yeah. Anyway, just have a good. Sam, can you start that story again?
So, I know someone. Mate of mine,
basically went on the Jimmy Savile show. I believe, if I remember rightly, he was doing motorbiking. And he doesn't remember, everything he said, he doesn't remember anything about it. But the thing is, well, yeah, and the thing is, we've always had a in-house joke with him that he got a Jimmy Savile badge for milking the cow blind all day. Now then, what do we have here? Do you know that sort of thing? Like,
now then,
yeah.
diddle me this.
Whoopsie. I've asked Martin Shine to make that into a meme, but he's not come up with it yet. It's too hard.
I'll tell you something as well. Actually, see, I watch. Have you watched the channel Germ Warfare? You know the guy from South Africa. Very good. I like him.
I've never seen that one. No.
Oh, mate, you're missing out. He's only on LBRY, Odyssey, Podbean. Mate, you'll love this guy, man. Fucking hell. But anyway, he's a cartoonist, and is Jacob there, mate? Anyway,
I'm here.
Oh, you're back. Yeah, cool. But yeah, he's a cartoonist, and he made the point about. So to be a cartoonist, it was actually another guy who made the point about. His name's Jeremy. He's from I think Cape Town, but he made the point about a cartoonist uses both sides of their brain, which is interesting considering what we talked about previously. But it's something that I've tried to do. I've tried to do memes, right, and I just can't do it. I can't do when I do these, like, you know the thumbnails I do. It's like a posh meme. That's the way I look at it. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
on come up with the ideas.
It's on PowerPoint.
Put it together.
Yeah, I can't. No, see, I can put it together, but I can't come up with it. Sam, you're gonna tell me your ideas, mate, because I can't figure out the ideas. I get to a point.
Sign work together. Big
Really?
and Shine.
Yeah,
so
I've chatted to him. Yeah, he's in the group.
Send it over to him, and but some of them are a bit too dark, I think, or too complex to put together. It's like coming up with.
Well, it's funny.
Like memeologists are so clever, especially.
Who's
the?
I support. I tell you what, everybody. I've heard Jimmy Dore talk about it. I've heard everybody talk about. I support the current thing. And you know what pops in your head? It's Sage Ed. Big up to Sage Ed as well, actually.
Sage Ed and all of the Rise Above memeologists, wizards and in their own self.
The Magi.
To be able to grab.
Yeah, it's clever. Yeah.
It's just to be able to do it that quickly on the technology that we've got. Do you understand?
Yeah.
To like grab a. It's not that easy. But
well, it's like Sam. It's like in the first half of the show, we talked about the left and right side of the brain, and now the left side. I can actually bring up a picture. Actually, just 2 seconds. So let me share my screen. But yeah, we talked about the left and the right side of the brain, and how the left side is really like, So if you go to university, you're pretty much using definitely the left side of the brain. And I believe this is a great picture, photo, or not photo, a diagram, and it really links to the memes and cartoonists and how I have great creativity. I have imagination like nothing else. But I guess it's like linking up. It's kind of like so you got left brain, you got idea, facts. And logic, and on the right side you got creativity, imagination, intuition, creation, art, and it's linking them both up to work in tandem, which is, if you think about it deeply, it's quite a big it's like a cohesion of the brain in full effect, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, Jacob, I'll be interested in your opinion on this because we spoke about this earlier, so. Maybe you could leave it.
Yeah, and I actually had an interesting. I've been watching a couple of videos, and on something that's very similar to this about this one gentleman. He actually, it was arranged for him to have a visit from his dead son by some entities, And when he was there, he was talking about the veil, because like the veil between the third and fourth dimension. Well, we also, if you look at this diagram, right down the middle, imagine there being a veil in between both. So not only is there a veil between the third and fourth dimension, there's a veil in our mind.
Like a membrane, like a cortex or something, like a blockage. It's like so. Imagine your third eye is the bridge, and if it's calcified, so we don't work.
So and then the pineal gland actually is like a catalyst.
So Jacob, your video isn't on. You know that,
yeah. Well, it started breaking up, like on the hearing and talking, so I turned it off to kind of help with the speed.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, so this guy, he ended up having a vision, and when he spoke to his dead son, he said that there was a veil there, but if he had crossed the veil, he wouldn't remember anything. So he stayed on his side, and there was like a window that he was able to have this conversation with his son through. And it actually kind of took me back to a time where I actually had a vision where, not really a vision, where I went to sleep and I was in a really good place of gratitude and thankfulness for, after reading the book of Melchizedek, I was reading some certain parts in it and recognizing myself in the creator and recognizing him and me. And at that time, like it was really weird because I could feel my brain just kind of humming a little bit. And as I was drifting off to sleep, in that in-between place, I literally was visited by my grandfather, just like he was standing there in front of me, but it was like a wall and there was a window and we were conversing back and forth and I could remember everything and knew I could reach to grabbing. But at the same time, I knew that I wasn't going to. I knew that I couldn't, even though I could, I shouldn't. So I just.
Sorry,
it's really weird because he was describing it. He was saying that was a veil, and that in our mind we have that same veil. And when we get into that thankful place, we actually can merge the full capacities of our brain, our left and right hemisphere of our brains, to work as one. And a lot of it does start with pineal gland work.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you something, Jacob. Actually, sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Did we talk?
Sam, I just want to interrupt. Sorry about the internet. I was searching for something on the browser and it was affecting the signal, so I turned it off. But it should be fine now. But talking about the pineal gland, and we talked about sun gazing. I think it was a couple episodes ago. And it's funny. Just yesterday, I think I told you, Sam. Look at the sun. I was driving home after work yesterday, 6 p.m. and I looked at the sun, and I could not actually. I couldn't hold my attention on it. It was too bright. It was literally this white. It was so intense. Really intense.
Yeah, it never used to be that way when we were kids, was it? What color was the sun when we were kids there, Sam?
It was yellow.
Yeah, beautifully orange.
Yeah.
Now.
Yep, and the skies were a darker blue. Yeah, there's a lot going on now.
Just think for a minute. So the sun we're seeing now, it definitely has changed. Now, let's just imagine, okay, the grand solar minimum. I believe it is probably real, but imagine it's fake, and imagine the sun we're seeing now is China's sun. Think about that.
Well, that's actually kind of funny because I think you and I have kind of gone over. We've talked about that NASA star.
Which one? What's the name of it? Yeah.
I don't know if we did on a video, but I think we had discussed it. I mean, I've actually got a couple of videos on my channel where I've actually shown the U.S. patent for the NASA star, and it's a fake star. I've even showed it on the Earth and the sun. After there was an eruption, it actually moved in the way to block it, and it was totally insane. And you can see it. It's a Sechi one, but if the Earth is right here where my hand is, it just literally just kind of comes out of nowhere and just kind of goes right in the way between the sun and the Earth after an eruption had happened. So we had minimum. So some people are like, it's a, what do they call it? It's some kind of spacecraft. I'm like, no, that's the NASA star. I mean, you can see all the different companies that are incorporated with it. The Philips, for the light bulbs, these xenon bulbs and stuff. It's insane. But the China star, that's actually kind of funny that we're we're knowing about that. So, and a lot of this ties back to the sun. Now I know for a fact that we can look at now, and I know this for a fact. 'Cause, I mean, I've had a telescope, I've done it, and there's a couple channels I follow that actually have these. I mean, celestron scopes. I'm talking 14 to 30-inch scopes. You know, with the sun blocker, so you can actually look at the sun. You can see the sunspots from Earth. So it's like, okay, we're seeing that right now, but how could they possibly duplicate that? And that's what kind of has me like interested. How can they duplicate it? Why are they making the sun? Is this one about to go micronova, or micronova in a way? And so they know that they're going to have to put it up there so that we can have heat. And why would they need to do that? Because it cycles, right? Well, that's where I sent you guys that stuff about the Saturn death cult about purple haze.
Hold that. Right, sorry to interrupt, Jacob. If you go back to that last image, of that stool, there's an eyeball. You've got an eyeball.
It's purple.
Yeah. It also looks a little bit like a heart.
Earlier on, that is. Well, it's a hologram as well within itself. So it's fractal. It's now is the sun. So what is information? Light is information. Yeah. Prism of light of information. So the sun we used to have has changed because we're getting new information. Now, are they trying to control the information that we're getting? Which the information we getting is how we evolve. Are they, as we said earlier, are they artificially now? Now the thing with it is we remember the old sun. We remember ourselves.
Yep.
Yeah. The new sun is programming these people that don't remember themselves, don't understand themselves, don't know themselves.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that that gentleman was talking about is like when it comes to that veil, and the more that our pineal gland, starts to become stimulated and starts to work, and the more that our brains start to mesh as one. Imagine taking a radio signal, okay, like each of us is a radio signal, or our own antenna, our own tower, okay, and then you split that into two hemispheres. You got a positive and a negative side of the brain, you know, right and left hemisphere, and then you want it to not work as much as possible, because then we can all link up, and that's where the whole being able to hear each other's thoughts and say things, and that person will hear you by lifting that veil and getting that pineal gland in full work. Left and right hemisphere is fully working simultaneously at the same time, and once it's fully decalcified and fully working, literally the whole brain goes into active gear, like all of it, instead of the 33% that we use. 33%. You know what I'm saying? So then the rest of the brain actually comes into full function. And I'm serious though. In fact, actually, I think Joe Biden just asked Congress for $33 billion for the Ukraine aid.
It's so funny, because it's so funny, guys. It's so funny because since maybe about a year ago, since halfway through my awakening, you sometimes catch news or radio, and the amount of times the number 17, whether it's the 17th floor, it might be 17,000, but all these numbers, and it just gets to the point where it's either 17, 33, 22, 6, or 6,600. It's always these fucking numbers. It's just tiresome for me, personally.
It's the code. It's the code.
Yeah, I think it's how they talk. It's how they talk to each other as well, I think.
Well, it's part of the code of this reality, I think. They understand this reality like we don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily know that it's them talking to each other, but it's a code that's in our brain that they're putting it out there for us to hear. It's a code for our brains, not for them, because they can just make a phone call and talk to each other. But it's to put the numbers out there into our brains, almost like an activation code, or to stay asleep code, or to stay asleep code.
Jacob, it's a materialistic code because it makes us create what they want us to create.
Yeah,
you don't a bit like behind each other. chat. But you understand what I mean? They put that out to us so that we create the reality that they want, whereas we should be creating the reality through our thought patterns into what we want. And if we all did that at the same time, creating the reality that they want through our thought patterns.
Yeah, and that.
So, are you there, guys?
No.
I think my yeah, it's just breaking. The connection's a little bit funky. It's because I'm trying to click on things, but it should still be okay. It's not that bad.
Do you want to restart it? Or...
No, it's fine, mate. It's fine. I haven't got time. As I look at the clock on the recording time, 33:22. No joke. Anyway, I put it on screen. Look. I just looked at it. It was 33. Look, 3333 now. Look. Anyway, no. We'll carry on because I've got to sort of edit and render these after we finish, which we will actually finish in about half an hour, 20 minutes, half an hour. So, but the only other thing I wanted to touch on. Yeah, that's right. The only other thing I wanted to touch on was about the sun, right? There's a little theory, okay? And so we know our sun changes, etc. And what I think, like today was a prime example of what I saw. So today, when I woke up, you got this low, well, it wasn't actually that low today, it's just this like, you know, horizon to horizon grey cloud is blanket. You can't see anything. I think a couple of times I could barely see the sun through the cloud, just through the chalk dust. But my point is, right, and so changing of the equinox, changing of the precession, and our sun is changing, grand solar minimum, etc. And what I think's happening is, you know, we as a species, through radiation via the sun changing and emitting different UV, less and more of different types, is changing us as an organic being. That's pretty much it. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. In fact, actually, we've actually gone through this before because
just to finish, sorry, Jacob, just to finish. But it's like this might be the reason why it seems that they are blocking out the big disc in the sky. We also got to be careful talking about this sort of stuff on here. Just to let you know, Jacob.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of us that are, if you will, starseeds, if you will, that we came down at this time so that we would remember when the sun was yellow and when the skies were darker blue. And now we're noticing, hey, it's not yellow anymore. It's white, so that we can bring to people's attention. Now, and one of the things is, as I started looking at that second call, his name is Greg J. He's got his YouTube channel. And my gosh, this guy, he did a really brilliant job. And where it goes about, you know, purple haze, you know, from Jimi Hendrix, purple rain, and ultraviolet light. Well, Saturn was the first sun, and we were engulfed in a plasma sheath. And that, when basically from my experience of things that I've learned, is that the Pleiades galaxy, not the star cluster, but the galaxy came through and swiped through the Milky Way, and it connected two arms. And you can kind of see a nice little connection between two arms where they normally wouldn't connect. You know, those little fingers that come off the Milky Way. And through that swipe is when a lot of this stuff happened. And when and back then, when Saturn was our sun, it was a brown dwarf star, and we were in this plasma sheath. Everything was purple, and it was like an ultraviolet, you know, radiation, like plasma was everywhere. It didn't rain, and that's where the heat came from. Was, you know, the moisture came from under the ground. And the whole concept is just it's mind blowing. You guys got to watch it seriously.
Well, that's like sort of getting to the realization that this place changes all the time.
Yeah,
like we change every day. Everything changes, and the realization that this is we are this place. We are all one, just experiencing it. So this is the thing where we started getting to this the cataclysm stages, cycles. They're just cycles, like a menstrual cycle. Happens once a month, 12 every. It's a cycle, but then it's a cycle within ourselves. Don't be scared of it.
No.
Need to embrace it, like we do our daily lives. You know, it's almost like imagine it as emotions of time. We have our daily emotions, and we also have cycles of emotions, and that emits changes within ourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's one of the crazy things, because like back then, a lot of them, when the stuff happened, when our main son that we know now, Soul, took over and was pushing Saturn out, like the people were changed. Some of the people were changing, and some weren't, and they ended up. There was a massive, extinction of mankind back then, because they weren't able to recognize the change and to see what was going on. And their forms stayed the same, and they ended up passing on. And it's almost like we're watching it happen all over again.
Well, getting back to AI, that would be a cash delete, basically. Don't need that.
Well, that's a great segue into that's a great segue into the final part of the show. But what I've actually got a few links here. I wasn't really going to talk about AI tonight, but it seems that it's always in our peripheral vision, But yeah, what I want to point out quickly is I've been looking at a few things in my time off over the last week. Can you see the screen? Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Guys? Yeah. Good. Yep. So this is a few articles I brought up here. Okay. The U.S. military will have more robots than humans in 2025. I'll read some important points out. While cyborg soldiers and fully automated weapons have long been fodder for futuristic sci-fi thrillers, they are now a reality, and if the Pentagon gets its way, will soon become the norm in the US military, as Defense One reported last Thursday. This is from 2018. I think it's a few years ago. So just bear in mind, this is old, But I've been looking into this recently. Have both of you guys heard of ARPANET?
I have, yeah.
No.
Yeah.
The thing that makes me laugh about this is that at the moment they can't get enough stuff into a certain country at the moment to help it.
Yeah.
And they're talking about doing this.
Yeah. So I'm going to show. Actually. Sorry.
This is home with where it is going.
So ARPANET. Okay.
Resources to do this. This is the thing. We're very scared at the moment.
So ARPANET is right. So actually, I'll get my notes because I've made some notes. So ARPANET essentially is the origins of DARPA. Okay, ARPANET is also the creation of the internet. This was created via money and research from Stanford University around 1948. And this is all before DARPA was even created. So ARPANET was actually, let me just go to my notes. It's quite fascinating. It goes really deep. Okay. This information's from Dustin Broadberry as well. Really knowledgeable guy on all this stuff. Let's just click on one of these. So I'll let this load up while I talk. And just pause. There we go. So ARPANET. So we go into it actually comes out of the end of World War II. And it comes from the PSYOPs office, comes from counterinsurgency, etc. Comes from also the Office of Scientific Research and Development. This was created at the end of World War II. The OSRD, the Office of Scientific Research and Development, then changed into essentially DARPA after it was ARPANET for a few years. And all these companies, I wish I could show you this, maybe actually a photo in, but yeah, so who deals with DARPA and who owns, so Google, so this lovely company called Alphabet and Google are owned by DARPA. And if you know who owns DARPA, then I've got to be a little bit careful about talking about this. Yeah, you know what I mean? It goes pretty deep. And essentially, what I'm picking up, it comes from Eisenhower as well. This came from another project called Project Camelot, involved in Chile, subversion. It was created. So Project Camelot was created to shut down left-wing revolutions. Think about Chile. Think about Panama, but back in the 50s and 60s, 70s. And this is all via the American government. And yeah, it's nuts. It really is nuts. It goes so deep. And so the internet, I'll finish on this point. So ARPANET comes from a guy who created the Office for PsyOps, okay? And it was essentially to capture everybody in the world and to spy on them and know what they're doing. Bear in mind that those three-letter agencies in the US are so paranoid, and yeah, I think we all know they've got out of control. And yeah, I'll leave that there. Yep. But ARPANET is fascinating, really is. I could actually show you a bit of it here if you want. What do you think, guys?
Well, now it's added. Well, now they've added a 3 at the front, haven't they? D for defence, and the D you can the D can represent lots of different. And this is what they talk about. One being devil. But it's 3 basically.
So
they've added at the front now.
So on your screen you got 1957. 1958 was when DARPA was created. So 1948 was when ARPANET was created, and this was when. Bear in mind. So we look back to Operation Paperclip. I'm just going to put myself on the screen here. So just a sec. What's going on here? Anyway, sorry. But yeah, I'll make myself bigger. There we go. I know I can't. So bear in mind, Operation Paperclip, 1942. All the Germans moved to America. Then we got 1948, a few years after the war. And suddenly this company, ARPANET, pops up, and you got the Office of Scientific Research and Development, which is the OSRD, which also created the Office for PsyOps, Psychological Operations. No joke. I think that was 1953, if I get my facts right. But yeah, it's just fascinating. It really is. It goes so deep. Shall we watch a video?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
In Soviet Russia. Let me take you back in time to the year 1957. Tensions amongst the democratic US in Soviet Russia is high. On October 4th, 1957, the Soviets launched Sputnik 1, beating the US to what would be known as the space race. As the result of this loss, the president at the time, Dwight D. Eisenhower, creates the ARPA, or Advanced Research Projects Agency. The ARPA was an agency of the U.S. Department of Defense. The purpose of this agency is to ensure that the United States avoids further technological surprise. By collaborating with academic, industry, and government partners, ARPA expands the frontiers of technology and science. During this time, computer scientists were envisioning an intergalactic computer network. Many of these ideas conceived by these scientists encompass features of a modern internet. In the year 1969, the idea became a reality with the connection of 4 university computers. As shown by this image, this network connected computers in universities in California and Utah. The ARPANET, or the first internet, was born. This network took advantage of a new idea called packet switching. Packet switching was conceived by a British scientist, Donald Davies, Americans Paul Barron, Lawrence Roberts, and this goofy-looking guy, Leonard Kleinrock, something like that. The idea of packet switching goes like this. Information is broken up into smaller pieces and routed over the internet until it reaches. Once it reaches its destination, it is reassembled into a whole piece. The theory of packet switching is still used today. The internet is moving out of cyberspace and into smart space. Leonard Kleinrock. Throughout the years, ARPANET has contributed a lot to the advancement of communications. The development of TCP and IP protocols in the 1970s by two geeky nerds named Vince Cerf and Bob Kahn made it possible to expand the size of a network. This expansion led to what we now know as the Internet. This presentation was made by Mr. Westfall. Please do not sue me if I use your images.
Okay, welcome back. So I want to talk for a minute, okay? And I'm going to put myself on screen as a speaker, hopefully. Anyway, so yeah. So anyway, this ARPA, okay. I also just reread my notes and got Project Camelot. It was a subversion project for fighting against left-wing revolutions, mainly Chile, Panama, etc. But what was interesting was it is a computerized early warning system for left-wing revolutions. And if we fast forward a bit from, let's say, 1950, 60, look at the world now, you know, so everybody that supports the current thing, yeah, they majority are left wing. So their psyop actually worked, and I think it worked to a point where it almost surprised Google and ARPA and DARPA pretty much. Do you know what I mean? Nuts. It's just
I don't know if it necessarily surprised them. I think it surprised them how well it worked.
Yeah, I think it surprised them how easy it was and exactly how well it worked. Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
I can't think of his name, but the Russian.
Yuri Bezmenov.
Yeah. So he explains it could take 2 or 3 years to do this to a country.
Sam, it can take a lot longer as well. So it can take a generation.
About six. He says, it says a couple of generations, but he also says it can take a very short amount of time. But the problem with that is then you've got to control that. Yeah. I fucking hate the people that are in control, but you've got to take that off to them. Really.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
And get the point. Do you understand what I mean? Because it's actually gone a bit too quick for them. And this is why maybe that they've just said, we're 20 years ahead. It's not 2050, it's 2030. Let's get on with it. Because they've already got all of the little pawn pieces in play already.
Yeah.
You know, they talk about 4D chess. Well, I think they've got everything set up ready, or they think they have, to go ahead with their plans. But it's getting back to this AI that I was talking about last night, Rob, and stuff that Jacob was saying earlier, the fact that we are all one to play. It's the play that we're experiencing. And the whole thing of like, if you're on this, if you're listening to this teacher, the world isn't quite what they told you it was. And
no shit.
Everything's a lie, basically. You can basically realise that everything is a lie, everything you've been told. So if it's a lie, and you're on that path where you realise that you're a spiritual person, you get to that point where it's like, hang on a minute, like, so I'm playing myself here. Does that make sense?
It's a video game. It's a video game.
It's not a simulation, because it's much more than that. It's the most advanced fractal Mandelbrot experience you can think of. Yet it only plays out like the image that Rob showed you earlier with the brain. Those pointers side, if you can imagine as the input that you're getting through this experience, and that plays out because they're emotions, they're neurons going off in your brain all the time, which in itself, if you look at a neuron, the neurons in your brain, and we believe what space is, it's exactly the same. I'll leave it there because it's all one, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't necessarily say that everything is a lie. I would, because they have to tell us truths in there. We just didn't know to look for those truths because, as a species with amnesia and knowing that the way that it was set up, we should have been able to trust those in power, those that we've elected, to be in charge of our state, to represent us.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a lie until you ask why. It's a lie until you ask why.
So it's when you start actually like trying to break it down, like, okay, they have to, and we know according to the laws of the universe, they have to put the truth in our face. We just have to be awakened enough to see what the truth is, to see through the lies. And we didn't know that until like within the last few years, when the majority of us that are waking up, and we're like, whoa, we're starting to see the truth. Like everything with, religion, different religions, theological belief systems, the truth with, the Anunnaki, with, all the way back to ancient past of, Saturn being the first sun, the color purple, how it all ties together. I mean, with Gilgamesh, everything. It's like, holy cow, this is, and even a device that they're looking for a final piece for. I mean, there's so much it's like, wow. And then they reach out to you to say, hey, help us out with this. It's for a good cause. And how many good-hearted people, once again, want to be able to do good because, they believe that they're doing good, are going to wind up doing it for the wrong reason, not knowing
exactly.
that it's
where energy goes, energy flows. And like you were saying with the why, if you, What the Flock TV has done a great episode on this, on explaining how the why coincides with the brain, like we're talking about. And that's why the word, like...
Sam, stop saying why. Stop saying why.
Do you understand what I mean?
What for?
It's the whole... It all comes back to that word, which is a part of us. The way that they shape the letter for the end of that word, which is the why, is all throughout our body, everywhere. Which is why when you sort of like call it waking up or the realization of yourself, is why you start saying that word all the time.
Yeah,
because it's you. It's within
you. So just to start wrapping up a little bit. So we're gonna finish with the main guy in the news at the moment. We all know who I'm talking about. I'll put him on screen. He's famous for smoking spliffs with Joe Rogan. He's such a cool guy. Oh yeah, mate, totally.
Like Twitter. Yeah. I got just 5 minutes in the room with him, and they don't know one was coming out because he's this parasite.
Yeah.
Makes 12-year-old kids cool down.
Yeah.
I was about to swear.
I'll skip forward. Yeah.
Makes little kids go down
Sam,
and die to get stuff.
It wasn't just Africa. So if you know about Bolivia, I've traveled to Bolivia, and Elon Musk actually, he as you can see on screen, I'm not going to read it out actually, but you can see the word like cup, and this guy, it's funny because I'm glad we're finishing on this actually. I'll bring up another article in a minute. So have you guys heard about the Tesla bot that comes out next year? Have you guys seen this?
Yes.
The Tesla bot.
I've heard of it.
So actually, I'll bring it up on screen. I'll leave this playing while I do it. But so the Tesla bot. So the Tesla bot. It's 5'8" in height, and it is 125 pounds or 75 pounds. I'm not sure. Anyway, so the Tesla bot. I'm just bringing it up now. It is made to do dangerous or boring tasks, and I think we all know when something's marketed like that, it literally is just to, humans at the moment are very lazy, aren't aren't we? I'm not sure what to say there, but yeah, you know, humans just want to be lazy.
Yeah,
I think it's kind of it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at some times, but it's just the way they market stuff to literally just attract, you know, the certain type of people that they've programmed. You know, it's nuts. So I'm just
I think it's kind of a double-edged sword on that one. Not so much that we're, because some
Jacob
are lazy, some of us are lazy, and then on the other side, some of us are so worn out. You know, I mean, we've been working, we're supposed to tired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, realising it. It's hard. It's very traumatic. It is traumatic. It's painful. But then trauma is the teacher. So it's like, what do you want? Do you want to get on with things, or just float around like the NPCs in a blissful non-awareness? We're cracking on with things, basically.
Yeah, no, for sure. So
Trying to get somewhere. We don't really understand where.
So the link is actually loaded up now, so we can show it. Can you see the screen? I actually had to accept those cookies. I don't accept cookies, but to get on this, is it Bernie? It's not Bernie Sanders. It's that other guy from America. Anyway, so let me read some of this. This is a fascinating article. It is from a couple of weeks ago. I did actually have an article. This isn't the right article actually, but I'll go with it anyway. So yeah, and also just before I sort of finish up on this article, big up to the Rise Above crew, Andy Elmer Beats, Lance, Master Lee, Andy PG, Magix, and also Maxwell. What an awesome set last week. If you watched the intro to this video, Omar, I've got some of your good drum and bass sets at the start of the show. So anyway, why am I getting all these pop-ups? Piss off. Sorry, I'm just trying to, what's going on? Are you there, guys?
Maxwell was back on tonight. Maxwell was back on tonight as well, so he was a great guest last week. And,
yeah, he was. I've got to find a different link, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen. If we could chat for the next few minutes, just while I bring up this article, because that website is not working at all. So, wait. And let's have a look at the proper article I couldn't find earlier. It's by The Sun. It's only a few days old as well. 21st of April, so it's a week old just. Let's just watch a video actually.
Where we're going, we don't
show the screen.
Roads.
Time. Actually, do you know what?
Tesla is planning a high-tech solution to dangerous and boring work. CEO Elon Musk on Thursday unveiled plans to build a Tesla
The
bot.
greatest trick the devil ever
AI
pulled
Day event,
was convincing the world he didn't
said
exist.
his company already had the key ingredients to make a
Your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
Stuff could be used properly, couldn't it?
Yeah, so
show people.
So let's cancel that
It could all
video.
be used so positive.
Oh yeah.
So positive.
Oh,
All of it could be used, like it could all everything that's been envisioned and made.
Holy crap!
Could all be used so positively. Yeah,
Right, Sam.
they've just got negative.
Yeah.
Go on, mate.
So I'm going to share. I'm going to.
No, I was saying they've got this negative views for it.
Yeah. So I'm going to play it's only a couple minutes long. I will play this at the end of the episode to finish it off. So this is Elon's ex-wife, I think it was actually, Claire Boucher Grimes. I'm just going to say #with, check it out, watch.
I have a proposition for the communists. So typically, most of the communists I know are not big fans of AI. But if you think about it, AI is actually the fastest path to communism. So, if implemented correctly, AI could actually theoretically solve for abundance. Like, we could totally get to a situation where nobody has to work, everybody is provided for with a comfortable state of being, comfortable living. AI could automate all the farming, weed out systematic corruption, thereby bringing us to as close as possible to genuine equality. So basically, everything that everybody loves about communism, but without the collective farm. Because let's be real, enforced farming is really not a vibe.
It's just out.
It's really not a vibe. You get me? Oh my god. Seriously. Yeah, actually, let's watch a little bit more.
Side of human control. Now, the tricky here is that
if you haven't watched the movie Upgrade, watch Upgrade, made in 2018. It's all about this character.
It's going to be very tempting to use AI as a weapon. It's going to be very tempting. In fact, it will be used as a weapon. So the on-ramp to serious AI, the danger is going to be more humans using it against each other, I think, most likely. That'll be the danger. Yeah.
How far do you think we are from something that can make its own mind up, whether or not something's ethically or morally correct, wants to do something, or whether or not it wants to improve itself, or whether or not it wants to protect itself from people or from other AI? How far away are we from something that's really, truly sentient?
Well, I mean, you could argue that any group of people, like a company, is essentially a cybernetic collective of people and machines. That's what a company is. And then there's different levels of complexity in the way these companies are formed. There's sort of like a collective AI in the Google search, where we're all sort of plugged in as like nodes on the network, like leaves on a big tree. And we're all feeding this network without questions and answers. We're all collectively programming the AI, and and Google plus all the humans that connect to it are one giant cybernetic collective. This is also true of Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all these social networks. They're giant cybernetic collectives.
Humans and electronics all interfacing, and constantly connected.
Yes. Constantly.
So, I'm just going to make a point, okay? And it's very important because we look at our personal tracking devices all day long, yeah? And, so many things are interlinked at the moment. Look up at the sky. Nobody sees the sky because everybody's looking down at their tracking device, But what I want to touch on is he's talking about how AI learns from all of us, okay? And we can go into the metaverse, etc. And, if you have a Facebook profile, I do have one. I don't use it anymore at all. But everything that you put on there, it's created its own virtual character of yourself. And have a little think about what's happening now with Meta Hell. Even in Meta Hell, you can buy real estate. It's just nuts. Anyway, but the point is, okay, that AI, there is a technique called machine learning, and the machine learning is AI's essentially sentient brain, let's say. It is its consciousness in a way. It's synthetic consciousness, yeah, let's say for a minute. And AI can read 100 books in under a second. It can learn 1,000 years of human knowledge in, I think it's a few seconds, you know. So my point is, it really is nuts where it's going. Please watch the movie Upgrade, because the character in that movie Upgrade, I believe, is modeled on this guy. Talking about chips in the spinal cord, and I mean, just to finish, this character is he human? Isn't the right question. I believe what is the right question is who or what is controlling this guy, his consciousness. You know what I mean? And just to finish one more thing, you know, look at Bill Gates. These people who steal technology or ideas then get promoted like nothing else. So Elon also is now I think he's the richest guy in the world. He's got double Jeff Bezos's income and wealth. So it is, you know, I talk to people in work and they're like, well, what do you think about Elon Musk? I was like, he's not a good guy, mate. He's like, oh yeah, he is. He's on our side. He is made out to be like that. That's my opinion. So
with Elon, there's been I've actually been talking with a lot of people on Telegram and in real life about Elon, and there's a lot of people that love Elon, others hate him, and at the moment I'm still waiting for that final, okay, you're good, because if you think about this, let's say you're a double agent.
Sorry,
okay,
Jacob.
You're a double agent.
Jacob, your signal's awful, mate.
Is it?
It might be better now. Sorry, continue, mate. Continue.
Okay. I was saying, like, if you look at someone like in spy games, and someone's a double agent, they're going to look really shady all the time. It doesn't matter which side you're on. That individual you're dealing with is going to be shady. Well, that's kind of how I'm looking at Elon Musk, almost like a warlord. When it comes to like someone who kind of plays both sides, feeds both sides, but kind of stays neutral because they got their own interest going. So, like, if you're on the good side, you're gonna look, this guy's a little shady. But if you're on the bad side, this guy looks shady. But at the same time, both are wanting the stuff that this guy's got. So he's really like straddling the fence. So if there is a thing like a warlord or double agent, he's gonna look this way for a while. I mean, I'm still waiting for that final nail in the coffin to say, yeah, he's good, or that final nail in the coffin to say, okay, no, he's bad. Because right now he's definitely got a foot in the coffin.
So I'll continue. What you talked about there segues us nicely into what's on screen now. Actually, I'll show it. Sorry. Can you see the screen?
Well,
yeah.
Well, what I would like to just add on Elon Musk is anyone that is making technology to grow people in tanks has not got my backing at all. And he's doing this. He's looking to be able to grow people in tanks and then allow that to be. It's a transhumanism thing. It's a complete transhumanism thing. But then is that why we want this to go? Is he a friend? Is he an enemy? Like this is the whole thing. Like this. Get back to the experience thing we talk about all the time. Is anything an enemy to us, really, if you're trying to learn here? It's an experience that you're trying to take energy from because you're just figures in vibration. So,
I think intention matters. And here's the thing, and this is where I've really kind of had to step back from it, because a lot of times I'll get wrapped up in what we're talking about, and I'll start getting like feeling a certain way, and then I kind of I'll step back and kind of look at it from a different perspective if I can. And what if let's say that Elon's a good guy? Okay, let's just say he's a good guy, and he's still doing all of this stuff. Why? Okay, now we know that things are happening, and there's going to be some form of what their plans are to try and control the population numbers, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm not gonna go into everything, but you know what I'm saying about bringing things down. Georgia Guidestones basically, or if there's going to be a catastrophe, something that's going to happen where where we die and our consciousness leaves our body, and then he's creating these things to give us the opportunity to come back and complete our life on. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are different ways of trying to look at it. Now, I still think that's pretty shady. I don't really agree with that. I'd rather just reincarnate the natural way instead of doing it this way, because if you're a bot, you're controlled. Something owns that avatar. And when I see this body that you're showing, that Tesla bot, you know what that reminds me of? You guys remember the movie Keanu Reeves, The Earth Stood Still? That huge thing, they couldn't cut it, and then all of a sudden it was those teeny tiny little microscopic, almost like nanobots, and just kind of come around eating stuff and whatever. And that huge bot in it. Do you guys remember that?
All this stuff just looks to me to allow negative timeline, basically, to allow you to be morally how you want to be. And when we're talking about what we know about morals, you don't even need to go into any ancient books to know what moral is. Yeah, and this allows you to have less and less and less.
Yeah. So guys, we're going to.
I think the moral thing happens when social media. I mean, the more that people are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, they're just TikTok and Snapchat, and they're in their phone. I think it's demoralizing the people. I think that's what's really happening. That's those codes, because we know that your camera's flashing at you. Yeah, go ahead.
It's something that I was talking to Sam about, especially in the first half of the show. But let's finish on this actually. So exactly what you just said about. So where we are right now, okay, everything is done via this tracking device. There's nothing smart about it. We all know this, okay? But the problem is, let me just put this on the right screen. But the problem is that everything is done on this. Everything's via technology, and it feels exactly like it's kind of like we are where we're supposed to be in a weird way. No, not in a negative way, but I'll just finish on, and it leads back to what I said in the first half of the show about. So, what if every civilization was actually a different AI program? So, silica-based, carbon-based, etc., and each time it gives us a different program, like this old tech. You know what I mean? It's nuts.
Almost like an upgrade, like we're being given a flash drive, solar flash, being a flash drive.
I would say downgrade. But yeah. So
which way you want to go?
Yeah.
You can downgrade or upgrade.
So I'm going to play this video. Okay, it's a very interesting clip. I've actually exchanged a couple of emails with this person. I'm not going to say a name. I will. Linda Moulton Howe. Yeah, she gave me a copyright on YouTube, and then as I chatted to her, and she was alright. But I think maybe she's a Black Witch. Let's watch the video.
At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab.
Rob, we can't see you. All we see is us. We don't see the screen.
Thanks, Jacob. I'll put it on. Sorry. So it's only a minute long, and it's her talking about something that happened in Japan in 2017.
At a top robotics company in Japan this week, 4 robots being developed for military applications killed 29 humans in the lab. And they did it by shooting what he called metal bullets. I didn't know there was any other kind. The scariest part is that lab workers deactivated 2 of the robots, took apart the 3rd, but the 4th robot began restoring itself and somehow connected to an orbiting satellite to download information about how to rebuild itself even more strongly than before. And this next sentence, this is a quote. I'm writing this down. I've been doing this for years. This is serious shit, Linda. But you're never going to hear about this in...
I see dead people.
So, yeah, that's pretty next level. And I just like to point out, whether it's real or not, I'm not sure. But if you think about it, if it's fake, what outcome is it trying to achieve? I'm not sure. Yeah, just interesting. You know, and the reason I talk about AI robotics.
That right there, what we were just listening to.
Yeah.
That really sounds just like Terminator 2.
Yeah,
in a panic pulled the plug. Like that's that exact quote.
Yeah, well, what the project you were talking about earlier, Project Camelot. So,
yeah.
Now, Project Camelot, if you know,
Yeah.
Kerry Cassidy.
Kerry Cassidy, the former Hollywood actress.
Exactly. Who is tied in with that lady who, how she pushed the jab straight away as soon as it came out.
Sam. Oh, but yeah, that was okay. Ish. So, I'm just watching language.
Yeah. Well, she was inviting everybody to a Britney Spears concert, basically. This whole talking to people on Telegram, it's like we've got new 7. It's like the 17th letter of the alphabet. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's propped up again, but it seems it's gone into a duality. It seems.
Yeah.
What is propping up at the moment?
Looking glass.
Exactly.
Quantum.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Guys,
we need to be careful about what we say about this.
Yeah, I'd like to finish up soon as well because I'm pretty knackered and I've got work on and I've got editing and render as well, guys. Just Sorry to cut you off, Sam.
No, finish up the solo.
Yeah. Okay. Let's finish up with a little video that I didn't actually show earlier, but yeah. So this is the guy. This is the guy that everybody's looking at. You know, the dark side of Let's check it out.
Elon is the creator of stuff. I'm not sure why he has to also say.
So I'm just going to point out. So this bit here is the story of Tesla Motors and how this character Elon seems to actually never invent anything. He just buys some other great creation from another inventor. Check it out.
I don't understand that.
Well, whatever.
Contrary to popular belief, Elon Musk did not start Tesla. He simply purchased the company from two brilliant people, Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. If you don't know who Eberhard and Tarpenning are, they are the founders of Tesla. Their interview shows how much the company and its current cars owe to Eberhard's love for sports cars and the Rocket e-book, the first e-book reader he and Tarpenning created in 1998. Their experience with lithium-ion batteries with that e-book reader made Eberhard ask AC Propulsion to build him a car with lithium-ion cells, instead of ones with lead-acid batteries as the company used to produce. Recently divorced, Eberhard wanted to buy a new sports car, and he wanted an electric one, which was not for sale. That led them to create one, which now people call Tesla Roadster. It was also Eberhard's love for sports cars that probably led him to see that an electric car should be desirable for people, to stop seeing them as appliances. That stroke of genius is followed by Tesla to this day.
It is also obvious to young children working in your overseas living lives, which are destroying the local environment as well. You have been open about your willingness to stage crews in order to install dictators in places where your toxic products are being mined.
Some people accuse Tesla and its CEO of being involved in a coup in Bolivia to secure their lithium in a crazy new conspiracy theory. Following disputed elections with many irregularities in Bolivia last year, President Evo Morales was forced to resign by several groups, including the police and military. However, some conspiracy theories have claimed that American influence was behind the change of power. There's even a theory that a German mining company, ACI Systems, was also involved in securing the country's lithium. The latter evolved into Elon Musk and Tesla being involved in the situation, described as a coup by the former president. It didn't help that Musk jokingly said they are going to coup whoever they want, and Morales tweeted that it's proof that Tesla and Musk were involved in securing lithium. While this may be a conspiracy theory, what you're about to hear next is definitely happening. Our children are dying like dogs. That is the sorrowful statement of one of the Congolese mothers whose son and cousin died while working in the cobalt mines in the Democratic Republic of Congo. She and other parents like her are part of a class action lawsuit filed in U.S. federal court in Washington, D.C. in 2019, seeking to hold Tesla and other major companies accountable for what they allege is profiting off the misery of child labor in their quest for cobalt. Cobalt is a key component of every rechargeable lithium-ion battery in all of the gadgets made by defendants and all other tech and electric car companies in the world that has brought on the latest wave of cruel exploitation fueled by greed, corruption, and indifference to a population of powerless, starving Congolese people, the Sucres. Elon Musk announced that Tesla plans to manufacture 20 million electric-powered vehicles by 2030. The impetus is clear. Global warming is threatening our planet, and a rapid and dramatic reduction in carbon emissions is essential. Battery-powered vehicles are the most promising alternative, but for the foreseeable future, they depend on cobalt, a mineral found primarily in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where child labor and unsafe mining conditions are common. It is estimated that 15 to 30% of cobalt from the DRC comes from...
Hey, we're back. So, I just want to touch on a little point before we go, lads, if you're there. My internet's got issues as well.
Exactly what we were saying earlier about where, like, these... These people that want this electric future.
Yeah, it's also the radiation. It's terrible.
But they're like a little nuclear bomb ready to go off. If you ever seen an explosion of one of these Tesla cars going off, like and the problem with it is that the firemen that are going to go and try and put it out don't realise that they're getting so close to a massive explosion that you can't put out, basically, with water. This is what people don't understand about this whole future that they're trying to take us down. Is the fact that it's so dangerous. It's just green. Yeah, do you know what I mean? If you need a vehicle like that, it's destroying the environment, basically. Do you understand what I mean? And to power that, like they're all talking about, you can't power that with electric, so you're still going to need diesel and fuel to power that great big, and people don't really understand, you haven't got a vehicle to power it, yeah? It's unbelievable, yet they're destroying the environment. It's not even, the thing with this, is that they're sending young boys down tiny shafts every day to pull this energy out, and these shafts aren't set up properly. Do you know what I mean? Elon, money Elon Musk got, and the mining facilities that they could build, yet they're sending young boys down every day, and they're dying. And I said earlier, like 5 minutes in the room with him.
Yeah, this is where it's a really slippery slope, and it is a very slippery slope.
Elon Musk hires a company, whether he owns the company that's doing the mining or not, or just hires them to do the mining. Okay,
so
every country has different labor laws. Okay, so we have to look at that. And then the other thing is that they're not being forced to do anything; they're being paid for it. So they're volunteering their time and their actions for the pay. It's a slippery. Is it moral? Would it be moral? Yeah, I think it's morally wrong. But at the same time, it's a really slippery legal slope because they're volunteering their time and their services to do this stuff for pay.
It's the energies of this. We call it a realm. Yeah, this realm we're in, experience. Yeah, that's all it is. It's the energies of it all combining together. Now it winds me up. Yeah. It has to. This is what we've talked about before, where it's like people want to turn this place into paradise. Well, if we're coming here to learn, it's a push field. Of this place is shit. I don't like it. Never would be in here.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, nice.
Any new hip hop, man?
Yeah. Hey, I got some smoking West Coast flow, just landed raw as botulism, mate.
Nah, fuck that West Coast shit, man. I want some hardcore East Coast flavor beat, you know what I mean?
Well, why didn't you say so? Fat Beats, Armageddon on the streets. We're inundated with this shit, bro. Hey, if we had any more hardcore, we get arrested.
Now then, guys and gals.
Holy shit, Oma Beats. What it cap to all the crew in Thailand. Somebody my cap. Sud yo chiming now. Listen.
Hold on a minute.
Original Faranga standing MC.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going, you big cockney space case?
All my crew in Chiang Mai, Bangkok, Patong. Bang the end.
Serious? What have we here? I have a letter here from a young lady. Dear Jim, please can you diddle me? Oh.
Listen, did you manage to shook up ticket for tonight's spiritual gathering?
Nah, mate, no, it's all that.
Nice one! Lulu.
Oh, sweet as, mate.
Cool. Big up P-Money. I'll catch you later, mate. Don't go change and try and please me, alright?
Yeah, nice one, bruv, yeah.
Oh, nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother.
Nice one, brother.
I said, nice, bruv.
Nice one, brother.
I said, nice, bruv.
Fucking nice one, brother.
Nice one, bruv. Brother.
Fuck off.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Wicked set from Sin Star Red and Oma Beats.
Now then, guys and gals.
You hear me, man?
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I lie nak na. Oi, kun put mak mak. Kimmo. Yeah, that Farang talk a lot. MCLL walk a lot. Yeah, listen. Enter Sir Lancelot. Yeah, enter Sir Lancelot. Lyrics to make you dance a lot. Gonna use it every chance I got, so people, you gonna dance a what? Yeah, come on.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Decepticons, begin our assault!
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
That month?
Yes, sir.
And what about it?
What non-Microsoft browsers were you concerned about in January of 1996?
I don't know what you mean concerned.
What is it about the word concerned that you don't understand?
The Matrix is a system, Neo.
I'm not sure what you mean by it.
That system is our enemy.
The Justice Department has charged Microsoft with engaging in anti-competitive and exclusionary practices designed to maintain its monopoly in personal computer operating systems.